Really, it's right for the
Can everybody hear me okay? Thank you, Stacy.
You're welcome, honey.
Welcome and thank you all for coming to the 2021 Danville School National Honor Society induction. I want to thank all the parents and inductees for being flexible and patient throughout this process, as this is now our third induction ceremony this year. Throughout this school year, we have dedicated our time to serving others, as this is a very tough time in all of our lives. Our service efforts include writing cheerful greeting cards to the members at Canterbury Inn, as well as fundraising for and participating in the Caledonia County Relay for Life. We would also like to thank the school and the Danville community for their contributions to our Carnation Express fundraiser this year. Although the COVID-19 pandemic slightly altered our process and sales, the fundraiser was still successful, and we cannot thank you all enough for helping us raise money for tonight's induction and this year's NHS scholarship. Tonight, we are celebrating 12 students and all of their amazing accomplishments as we welcome them into the National Honor Society. Before we name the new members and hand out the pins and cards, we will hear from current members of the 4 pillars of NHS. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming our first speaker, Logan Young.
Character, one of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society, and also a key to a successful life. A force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect but ourselves, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character that guides one through life and, once developed, steadily grows within. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, daily striving to make the right choice. By demonstrating respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, empathy, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. Never give up. Keep fighting. You got this. These are some of the most cliche phrases you'll hear as you're building your career. But there's a reason for all these cliches. Many may brush these words off, but they are said for a reason and have helped many with their own lives. For example, J.K. Rowling, the world-famous author who wrote the Harry Potter series. Rowling had just gotten a divorce, was on government aid, and could barely afford to feed her baby in 1994. Just 3 years before her first Harry Potter book was published. When she was shopping it out, she was so poor she couldn't afford a computer or even the cost of photocopying the 90,000-word novel. At this point, many would have given up on their dreams and said they couldn't do it or it was impossible. But for J.K. Rowling, I wasn't in her character. She manually typed out each version to send to publishers. It was rejected dozens and dozens of times until finally Bloomsbury, a small London publisher, gave it a second chance after the CEO's 8-year-old daughter fell in love with it. Rowling demonstrated what it really meant to show good character. She didn't let any negative comments enter her head and stuck to what she believed she could accomplish. She is the perfect example for what an NHS member should have, the integrity and qualities to constantly fight and never quit. With this, communities around us will be in great hands. Thank you.
This evening, I will be speaking about scholarship, one of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. Scholarship is inherent to any academic environment, and everyone here tonight has achieved scholarship in their own way. Some have achieved it by being extremely vocal in their classrooms, working alongside their educators, and some have achieved it through independent self-education. Even though the words scholarship and scholar are words that will be used often tonight, I know that there are different interpretations of what these words mean. To me, scholarship is the fundamental qualities of a scholar being someone who is relentless in the pursuit of advancing their education, knowledge, and intelligence. When we think of all-time great scholars, we often think of scientists, philosophers, doctors, educators, and even politicians. When I think of all-time great scholars, I think of someone like Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton grew up on the island of St. Croix in the Caribbean. At the age of 8, his father abandoned his family, and at the age of 11, his mother passed. At an early age, despite his underprivileged upbringing, he found success in academics and education. While clerking for his deceased mother's landlord, he discovered a passion for knowledge and education. At the age of 16, he sailed to the soon-to-be United States and enrolled at King's College, which would later become Columbia University. Through the next 10 years of his life, he became George Washington's right-hand man during the Revolutionary War, and after the Revolution, he became an active participant in policy and government, soon becoming a delegate of the Constitutional Convention. He was one of the most vocal delegates in drafting what is now the Constitution of the United States. He was a leading defender of the Constitution at the time, writing 51 of the 85 essays in what we now call the Federalist Papers. Finally, under President George Washington, he became the first Secretary of the Treasury Department. And despite it being the founding of the country, we can thank Alexander Hamilton for being the architect of the American financial system. Funny enough, if you pull out your wallet and have a $10 bill inside, if you look who was on that $10 bill, it is none other than Alexander Hamilton. Now, why did I just tell you all that? Is it because I have an obsession with history and politics? Maybe. But no. Why I actually told you all of that is because even someone like Alexander Hamilton shares similarities with the people on this stage tonight. They're all relentless in the pursuit of education, knowledge, and being the best people they can be intellectually. All of these people, by definition, all fit the description of what a scholar is. I personally believe that scholarship is the most important of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. And it is because of stories like this why I believe that. Despite anyone's upbringing, and despite where anyone comes from, the pursuit of education and knowledge will set you free. All these people on the stage tonight share a similar interest in the pursuit of making their life better through education and gaining knowledge. Congratulations to everyone here on the stage tonight. Your induction to the National Honor Society shows everyone the hard work you put into your academics. You are all phenomenal students who exemplify the characteristics of scholarship.
I'm going to be talking about service, what it means to me and what I've done to help the community. What service means to me is helping my community whenever and however I can. I've done many different types of service. I've helped in many events through the NHS. One event is Relay for Life, which we do every year. Each member tries to raise $100 to help in the fight against cancer. Our team sets up a spot on the track where the relay is held, and we walk the track, showing our love and support for the survivors and the ones who have passed from cancer. This event means a lot to me as I lost my grandmother to breast cancer. I believe it helps to bring awareness to this awful disease. Another event I have also participated in is Autumn on the Green. This is a fall festival that takes place with many arts and crafts vendors. I've helped to make sure everyone is set up and has what they need. I have also helped in National Honor Society in selling and delivering carnations for Valentine's Day at school, and so much more. I've also participated in other groups, and one of the big ones was a group called You Matter. You Matter is a suicide prevention group, and we help by showing them they have a place in the big picture. I started this group my freshman year, and we went to many different conferences with other schools and learned many different things and ways to help. We also had a day to help bring the whole high school together and let groups bond that don't usually talk to each other. We also did many different activities, so the different groups had to work together as a team to build better relationships. Another huge role I've had the pleasure of being involved in is doing an internship at ABC Child Care Center. This has been very rewarding as I get to work with young children and create bonds with them and their families. I feel I am a good role model for these children and help them to work and develop skills to become self-confident and share with others around them. I believe all teenagers should be involved in local community services to help build their confidence and self-esteem. It helps you to become a great role model, apply skills that you have, and it is great for your own well-being. Start early. It doesn't matter what you do for service. Anything is good because one person can make a difference. And know that people may forget what you said or forget what you did, but they will never forget how it made them feel. Thank you.
The fourth pillar of the National Honor Society is leadership. Being a leader is something that many people aspire to be, but do not have the qualities. There are many different ways to lead. Some leaders can be vocal, but others lead by example, which is very important in a small school like Danville. Here in this group, there is a variety of different leadership styles, which are a great asset to this community. Having a leader in a small community is very important. Leaders are passionate about what they stand for. They are always motivated and are kind and respectful to people within their community. Leaders put people first before themselves. Leadership is a quality to have in the National Honor Society. Leadership is important to have when working with a diverse group of people. When working with others, this quality is crucial in knowing what others need, when to step up when need be. Having a positive leadership styles is not only important to have while being in the National Honor Society, but being a leader will be important, especially in life after high school.
That's better. Let's talk about service again for a second. Picture a hot, sticky evening, like take Monday of this week and crank it up another 10 degrees. June temperatures in Philadelphia were well into the 90s, and the nighttime relief came in the form of a low of about 75 with only 80% humidity. We were on day 5 of a 6-day youth service trip that I was leading. And in that moment, if anybody told me that this would be one of the most powerful, best learning experiences of my life, they would not have loved my response one bit. Not even a little bit. Service in this case meant direct aid to homeless populations, complete with sleeping on the floor of my sister's small Philadelphia house and being responsible for the safety and feeding of 9 other people's children in the midst of a world incredibly different from our very comfortable central Vermont bubble. On this particular hottest night of the trip, we were running late from our daytime assignments, which included midday gardening and mucking out trash sites, and we had skipped dinner ourselves. Our job was to serve food to about 200 clients and then hopefully get our own dinner, followed by a really long line for the one shower at my sister's house, and then maybe we'd get to sleep. The site was in the center of the city, only blocks from some of the largest tourist attractions. Blink and you would definitely miss it. As we entered the narrow alley that our directions pointed to, we were immediately bombarded with calls and jeers. Oh, here comes the KKK. What are we, your service project? Don't they have poor people in wherever you came from? And we were shocked. In our minds, we had put so much on the line in the name of service, abandoning every comfort we were used to, and instead we were being attacked. As we were about to turn around and walk away, I got into my principal mode of other people's children, and let's get out of here. The door opened a crack. A well-dressed man hurried us inside with a thank you for our presence and a warning not to mind the ungrateful people outside. As we got underway, we learned a little bit more about why the situation unfolded the way it did. The large community room where we served food was designed pretty much to resemble a prison cafeteria. Unmovable, bolted down tables, bright sterile lights, and it really looked like that. Our on-site training included being given a very, very structured way to hand out food, because we were warned that the people we were serving would stop at nothing to sneak an extra plate. Approach the table with a number of meals counted out for everyone, serve counterclockwise, and don't look away even for a second. If you've done that, and they tell you that they've been skipped, they're lying, refuse them. 2 of our participants were assigned to the door. Their job was to close and lock the main doors the second a pre-meal sermon began, directing people to 2 large signs instead that said, miss the sermon, miss the meal. The sermon was a stern reminder that these clients could always overcome their situation once they recognized just how bad it was. We did our job and we felt awful. Indeed, the people who taunted us outside had been banned for previous bad behavior, meal stealing, sermon missing, etc. Their taunting of us had nothing to do with us, but to them, we were an extension of a system that reportedly served them, only to instead let them know exactly where they stood in the world. So the next night, we were fried. We almost decided to skip our last site. Same type of work, smaller organization in the northeast section of the city. Instead, we went. It was our obligation, and we went. And it was absolutely night and day. This organization was started by a couple when passing a homeless man outside of the theater, handed him what they had, which was 40 cents and a bag of popcorn. They apologized for not being able to do more, and the man responded, "But you considered me. Thank you." This inspired them to put every ounce of their being into creating an organization that leveraged food donations across the city, local networks, anonymous donors, and a little bit of magic to feed everybody who walked through their doors with about a quarter of the budget of the previous organization. Clients were seated and handed a bag of donated bread, and if they asked for another, we were coached to say, absolutely, sure, just as soon as we made sure everybody gets some. In that same manner, seconds, if they were available, were distributed. And those who didn't get a second plate were offered whatever else was left. Got a tub of rice, let's go. There was another pre-meal sermon, but it didn't involve scolding. It involved volunteer musicians, and it was given by the program manager, formerly a homeless client of that program, now an ordained minister. The doors remained open the entire time. We left inspired by this unexpected opportunity to work in partnership with those who deeply respected and understood the clients they served. And that experience, as hard as it was, taught me that true service doesn't come without a great amount of personal sacrifice, and without a lot of depth and reflection. It involves putting everything you've got into creating the world you want to see, and then some. It's not something you do to necessarily make yourself feel better, nor to draw attention to your own great deeds. And so each one of you was chosen here to be here tonight on this stage, not because you've reached a certain score. You didn't get a 3.5 on each of the 4 pillars or higher. You're here because we trust in your ability to take those pillars and combine them and build something amazing on top of that platform. We're here to celebrate your achievement, but we're here more importantly to celebrate our belief that you will take what you've earned, run with it, and leave this world better than we left it to you. Committing tonight to the National Honor Society calls you to serve others. And if I've learned nothing else, it's that when you do service right, it's going to take all of the scholarship, leadership, and character you've got, and then some. Congratulations, and we're counting on you.
This year's NHS chapter has triumphed over the pandemic and had an incredibly productive year. Thank you to the council for support and the many hours reviewing applications. In the end, 12 new members joined the 6 we started the year with. Thank you to Mr. Schilling for his patience. Carnation Express in February was an astonishing success. The 6 members sold and delivered 715 lovely carnations from All About Flowers. Thank you to Cassie and Jenna for all of their enthusiasm and assistance. The money goes into the National Honor Society Fund to be used as a scholarship. We appreciate the parents and community who contributed to this project. Another commercial break for Relay for Life. On Saturday, June 26th, this group will be participating in the American Cancer Society Relay for Life at St. John's Ferry Academy. All of the members have signed up to do this. Please support them and the cause with a contribution. Join us and walk a lap around the track. Celebrate a cancer survivor or a loved one who has passed from cancer with a luminaria bag. The relay is a memorable event. And now, presenting the pins and cards. I'm shaking them out. This will be random. After you get your card and pin, would you return to your seat? And one more time, we'll do the pledge.
Would you like us to remain standing?
Of course. Zoe Corey. Lacey Sandville. Macy Bogan. Allie Bellevue. Ava Marshy. Zoe Crocker. Riley Cadu. Liza Morse. Dylan Brigham. Colleen Flynn. And the pledge. Have you got it memorized yet? No. I pledge myself
always to seek the light of truth, to hold scholarly habits, to engage in worthy service, and to lead forward in all things that shall advance the welfare of the school.
Congratulations. This is photo opportunity time. We have a couple of members who will skedaddle over and get the ice cream set up. And please join us and have some ice cream.
Thank you.